Zacks Rank Buys, stocks with a short-term buy or strong buy recommendation. Now, here are more Zacks Rank Buys. Let's check out a couple of more value stocks now with Tracy Reinick. Tracy is our value stock analyst at Zacks.com, and you always bring us some interesting value stocks here to chew over or discuss, as the case may be. Not going to be chewing on anything that Terra Industries produces because they're in the fertilizer business.
Right.
That would be totally unhealthy.
It would be. It would be. They make nitrogen products, or nitrogen products.
Yes, right.
And some of that is fertilizer. Some of that actually goes into chemicals and some other things. So they have both industrial, environmental, and the agricultural sector. Okay. But they're mainly thought of for the agricultural sector, especially given what's happened in the last couple years with prices in that area. Mm-hmm. They saw in the fourth quarter that the prices stayed relatively high. Their volumes declined like everything else that's kind of going on in the economy right now. The fall planting season was kind of a bust because of the economic conditions, but they were able to beat estimates and stay quite a bit profitable in the fourth quarter because of the high elevated prices. They've come down a little bit more in nitrogen than we've seen in a couple of the other fertilizers, like potash and stuff have stayed higher, but they're expecting those prices to jump back up here in the spring as demand picks up because people who didn't use the fertilizer in the fall are definitely going to use it in the spring. So they're expecting a little bit better first quarter here and going forward than what they've seen. They're
also weighing an acquisition offer.
They are. There's a hostile offer against them by CF Industries, another big fertilizer player. Mm-hmm. And it's been a couple of offers, counters back and forth, and they've rejected all of them so far. The last offer was at $30.50. The stock right now is trading about 27 or so, and it has traded at close to the 30 in the last couple of days until the offer was rejected. Mm-hmm. Basically, the management feels that they're really undervalued at that price because if you see what the stock was trading at only a year ago, it was double the $30, and they feel, as many do in the fertilizer industry, that there's a lot of upside in that sector going forward. And the interesting thing about the CF is that they're also subject to a takeover acquisition by Agrium. So the fertilizer sector is really hot right now, and that kind of tells you something given everything that's going on in the economy. Terra, outside of the acquisition part, it actually has really good fundamentals. It's a Zacks #1 rank. It is trading at about 8 times earnings, so it's not altogether expensive, even though it has really jumped off that low. It traded at about $11 back in November, and it's basically almost tripled since then. But it still has really good fundamentals, and as we said, the planting season should pick up here this spring, and then we'll see kind of going forward. But the fertilizers, that sector hasn't been hit as bad as some of the other industrial areas.
Okay. And so the other one you want us to consider is Western Refining, WNR, the ticker symbol. You're back on your refining kick again.
Well, something with energy, yeah.
Where's the value here?
Western is interesting because they are an independent refiner, mainly in the Southwest. They own 4 refineries, they have some terminals, they have some retail stations where they actually sell the gas. Mm-hmm. Their problem was last year when crude prices soared, gas prices went up, but their margins did shrink. They had better margins in the fourth quarter as crude prices came way down, and so they easily beat fourth quarter estimates. And the interesting thing about them is in the first quarter, historically, it's been kind of a bad quarter for them. They actually took a 60-cent loss last year in 2008, but they have already said that they see a great quarter, maybe their most profitable ever, and they saw great margins in the first 2 months, January and February, and see that continuing into March. So the estimates have really been jumping on Western. Okay. They are up sharply from like 40 cents 30 days ago to over $1 for the first quarter and up sharply for the year as well. So they're Zacks #1 rank because of the rising estimates. And they're fairly cheap. They're trading about 9.5 times forward earnings. It's going to depend kind of what happens with crude prices going forward here. But right now their story is really good.
All right. Do you own either of these two?
I do not.
You can check out more of Tracy's text pieces on some of the other value stocks that she's written about recently by going to Zacks.com's homepage and looking over to the upper right-hand corner of that homepage and clicking on the most recent headline next to the value category. With Tracy Reinick, I'm Terry Ruffalo.